Welcome to McAussie.tv here on a Friday night before the second weekend of the NFL Playoffs. Well, I had a great show tonight. Fun from the Duck Lake in Edmonton. I was again on Game Time Decisions in-game live show with Gabe and Morency and Cam Stewart. It's on New York SportsGrid network. Radio, TV, everything. YouTube, all sorts of mediums, all sorts of channels. And now, as of last week, on Sirius XM channel 204. So check that out. I'll put that show up on YouTube and also as a separate audio podcast. So audio podcasts are fantastic. Listen to them as you drive around in your car or at home in the shower or wherever. So I hope you enjoy the podcast. And there's other Mick Aussie International Sports Show podcasts on Castbox, Spotify, Spindler, but I like Castbox. They're the one that hosts my podcast. So check it out on Castbox FM or Spotify. Alright, so let's now talk about some NFL. I can't wait. So even though I'm talking picks or whatever, I'm going to talk about the final 8 teams left in the playoffs. So hopefully you'll enjoy this podcast for the next year where I talk about specific great players of each NFL team left in the playoffs. Well, it's a divisional round championships. It's going to be great, and we start off on Saturday afternoon with the LA Rams. The Sheep Boys are traveling to Green Bay Packers to take on the Packers in the famous stadium, but there's not going to be many people there at all because of COVID-19. Packers start off 6.5 point favourite. Well, I use my Moneyline Multi Margin Mathematics equation at times, but the item A on that equation is gut feel / my NFL knowledge. So as I said tonight on SportsGrid with Gabe and Cam, I did not do the equation calculation for this game because I made up my mind on Sunday night. I'm going to take the Packers and probably cover. So take the Packers on -7. Several reasons. They've had the week rest. Aaron Rodgers is a legend. You got Aaron Jones. So the two Aarons. Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, the champ, and Aaron Jones, the running back. They've had the week rest. But in week 17, they played. They played because they wanted the win to get that top spot. So they didn't have too much time off. Maybe like the Kansas City Chiefs, who we'll talk about later. They might be rusty. Well, early Sunday morning, it'll be crazy in New Zealand because all the sheep shaggers and the Rams, the sheep, they'll all be leaving the paddocks about 8 o'clock in the morning, and they'll be cruising along the roads, and they'll all be heading to the towns. So the roads will be packed out with sheep, jam-packed with sheep, and then the barmen, the managers of the sports bars and pubs in the towns in all over New Zealand, they'll have the TVs out on the street so all the sheep can watch their favourite team, the LA Rams. Oh, well, they're a chance. They are a chance. And as I said, I'm going to hedge this bet. A hedge is where you bet against what you've already got. Well, I finished 10th in the Moneyline aggregate competition out of 89 people, and it's a fantastic competition. Finished 10th, so the best team available left was the Rams. And I thought there was some sort of chance to beat the Seahawks, and they did. They beat them well. The Browns was a team that was left as well, and also the Bears. But I took the Rams, so I'm still in the competition for the Moneyline aggregate. Now, let's talk about some more players for the Packers. See, this is the trouble with the Packers. And I've only ever given Aaron Rodgers one good wide receiver for his whole career. You got Adams right now. He's great. If they didn't bloody well pick a quarterback, I can't believe that. I can't still believe that the GM of the Packers took a quarterback in the first round when Aaron Rodgers is like, what is he, like 37? He's got 3 or 4 more great years left. And they took a quarterback in the first round. It was disgraceful. Give him a wide receiver, and if he had an extra wide receiver right now, we wouldn't even be talking about Packers may be covering, they would definitely win and be a big chance for the Super Bowl. Yeah, the Packers GM, what's his name? I'll even get in trouble for saying his name. I wanted to say his name on the show tonight, but I couldn't. It's Brian Gutekunst. 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 See, I would have got in trouble if I said that. I would have said Gutekunst. And everyone knows that you can't say the C, the cunt word in Canada. They'll get all upset. Sure, in Australia, your mum and your sister will hit you if you say the C word. But here, oh my God, women will disown you if you say that word. So Brian Gutekunst, he was the GM of the Packers. And LaFleur, the coach, they picked Jordan Love. I still can't get over it. It's one of the worst decisions ever in any draft. Jordan Love is now third string quarterback. All I can think of is maybe bloody Brian Gutekunst, maybe his girlfriend or wife, maybe they said to him, if you don't pick Jordan Love, I won't love you anymore. So you go and pick Jordan Love and then I'll stay with you. There's just no explanation as to why they would do that. Some people say they did it so that it would drive Aaron Rodgers even more determined. What a load of friggin' Cleveland Brown shit-em of bullshit that is. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. All the great wide receivers available, and they picked Jordan Love. Nothing against that kid, nothing against him, but there's no way the Packers should have picked a quarterback in the first round, and anyone that tries to agree with them can go and just fucking wake up and smarten the hell up. Disgraceful. If Rodgers had another star wide receiver tomorrow, they would definitely win by more than 7. So there's the Packers, eh? I think they'll win. Now the Rams, get this, check this out. I nearly lost it. Defensive end, Morgan Fox. Morgan Fox is defensive end for the LA Rams. Well, if you checked out my movie, you would see that I am in the horse stables. And Morgan Fox, a Playboy model, a Playboy centerfold from Vancouver, Canada. I got friends with her because she was a barmaid at this, the Rippers, the strippers. So I got friends with her and she agreed, and we went and filmed it in the horse stables because she trains horses. She put my South Gawler Lions jersey on, jumper, Guernsey on, ripped it off, did a little video. My Aussie mates just couldn't believe that I'm hanging out with a Playboy model. That's when I first got here to Vancouver. And then I went off to Denver to film the Broncos. And of course, she was training the horses. So a good little mix about horses and Broncos. So Morgan Fox is a defensive end for the LA Rams. Oh, it just brought back memories of great lady. I still see her on Facebook. She had a boyfriend at the time. We were friends. Oh, did a little dirty dancing with her one night at the nightclub. Had a little grab, a nice little dirty dance. So Morgan Fox, fantastic lady. Rams, you got Donald at the defensive end. He is fantastic. He's one of the best, probably the best pass rusher in the NFL. And you got Ramsey at cornerback. Oh, they're a good team. But their offense, Jared Goff, overrated. Blake Bortles, third string. Wolford, he got concussion. You got Cooper, Kupp, and Woods. Yeah, they're good. But like I said, when the rules favour the offense, I got to go with the great quarterback and the week's rest. So let's hope and think that the Packers will beat the Rams in the first game. But like I said, I hedged it. So I'll bet on the Packers, and I got the Rams in that competition. A hedge? God, some of the terminology in sports betting is crazy. Hedge? We used to have a hedge at Rosewood when I grew up. The cricket and tennis ball gets stuck in the hedge. We had to trim the hedge and rake up all the branches. Bloody terrible. Too much hard work. So it was great when we built a fence to get rid of the hedge. So a hedge in sports betting is when you bet against an existing bet to cover a win or a loss or whatever. So let's say you're guaranteed to win, well then you bet the other way. So you cover it if it doesn't quite win. Talk some more about some more sports betting terms that are actually quite funny. So let's go now to the next game, Saturday night. It's going to be fantastic. We have the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. Well, the Bills are looking good finally after being terrible for a long time. Got Josh Allen at quarterback, fantastic. Stephon Diggs has come across from the Vikings and had a great year. You got Beasley that came across from the Dallas Cowboys, and you got McKenzie at wide receiver. You got Singletary at running back. You got Ed Oliver in defense tackle. You got Tre'Davious White at cornerback. You got Josh Norman at quarterback. They got a good team. But then you got the Ravens with the reigning MVP Lamar Jackson. He is a fantastic runner. If I was the Bills defense, I would be trying to hurt him. I would be getting those knees right into his thigh muscles. You do it fairly. You give him a corky, we called it, where you get your knee into the thigh muscle and then he can't run too good. And I tell you what else annoys the hell out of me about these NFL players. They go, oh, I didn't mean to hurt him. I didn't mean to hurt that guy. Of course you did. It's part of the game. You hurt a player fairly within the rules, and that is an advantage. Of course you try and knock the quarterback out. Sure, you don't try and break his neck. If you hurt a player fairly within the rules, that is great. And then they say, oh, I didn't try and hurt him in the interview afterwards. Well, a load of Cleveland Browns shit in my pants. Bullshit. Alright, well, Lamar Jackson's fantastic. We got Derek Wolfe, we got Calais Campbell, we got Marcus Peters, we got Tucker the kicker, we got Marquise Brown, we got Des Bryant, the old Des Bryant's back playing. So, you know what? I think the Ravens can win. I did pick the Bills. And let's now go to my mixed moneyline multi-margin mathematics. As we talked about, Gabe is interested. Gabe and Cam want to know all my 10 to 12 little factors of this equation. Well, let's run through them right now for the podcast. A, gut feel / my NFL knowledge. Like I said, with the Packers, Rams, I didn't even do this equation. I just went gut feel knowledge, Packers to win. That was it. Didn't let anyone influence me. Stuck with that all week. Okay, I'm going with a 1 point for the Bills. So you have between 0 and 3 points for every part of this equation except for the quarterback. Better quarterback, you can add up to 7 points. So normally item B is recent record. Well, that doesn't apply this week. It did apply for the wild card game, but right now your past record doesn't matter at all. So that is scrubbed for the week 2 of the playoffs. Item C, home field advantage. I've given 1 out of 3 points here for the Buffalo Bills. So that takes them to 2 points. Item D, better quarterback. Whoa, I called it even on this. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, I've called it even, so Bills still favoured by 2. Item E, very interesting. Big factor, and especially big this year in COVID. So it's injuries, and I've added this year / COVID outs. Now, that is the deciding factor on Sunday morning. So right now, I'm not sure. Maybe the Ravens have a few more injuries, but we'll leave it at that. Current record, item F, doesn't apply for this second week of the playoffs. Item G, coaching advantage. We got Harbaugh versus McDermott. The experienced Harbaugh, and McDermott's been in the league. I think he's 3rd or maybe 4th year as the Bills head coach. No advantage there. Both great coaches. So now the Bills, I've still got them at +2. Record versus Ravens. Well, they haven't played in a while. I think December 2019 was the last time, and the Ravens just beat them by 24-17. So I'll leave that out because they haven't played this season. Bills still favoured by 2. Item I. Who my favourite NFLers pick? Okay, so my favourite NFLers that I listen to each week includes some of the SportsGrid cast, Gabe and Teddy Covers and a few of the boys. And also Mike Florio and Chris Sims and my buddy James, my racing truck driver buddy James. He really knows his stuff as well. Well, most of them have picked the Ravens. So there we go. 1 point to the Ravens. So deduct 1 point. 2 -1s makes it 1 point favourite right now for the Bills. Weather, well, won't matter. Ravens play outdoors, Bills play outdoors. Doesn't matter. No advantage there, I don't believe. So Bills still favoured by 1. Item K, turnovers in the season/playoffs. This is a really cool factor. Now, this is all just common sense, my algorithm. It's common sense to give me a good guide as to when I'm not sure who to pick the winner. So, turnovers in the season/playoffs. Well, for the seasons, you look this up. Bills and Ravens, they were both +4 on turnovers. So that's offense and defense, interception, fumbles, the turnovers. Well, in the first week of the playoffs, the Ravens had a interception, I believe, against the Titans. So there we go. I have given 1 point to the Bills. So the Bills now favoured by 2. Item L, the last of the items, the chance of the mental letdown / playoff experience I've added for the playoffs. Well, I got to say, I'm going to give 1 point here to the Ravens. More playoff experience last year, even though they got beaten and out in 2 games. But the Bills have to prove to me that they do not get nervous in the playoffs. They should have beat the Colts by more than they did. They got a bit lucky last week. So there we go. 1 point to the Ravens. So 2 -1. So my calculation, I have worked out to Bills win by 1 point. I hope they do, and I hope they go through to the next round. Now, like I said, it's just a guide, but it really is cool for me to try and work out who I think might win the game when I'm not sure. And there we go on the background. There we go. My calculation where I picked the Chiefs by 10 to win the Super Bowl, and they won by 11. So I framed it. I'm pretty proud of that. Got a bit lucky, but whatever. Who cares, right? It's all fun and games and shit and giggles. All right, the next game. Sunday, the first game Sunday. It's the Cleveland Browns shit 'em a pants versus the reigning premiers, Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Didn't do my calculation. I just thought, what's the point? I think the Chiefs will win. The Browns are a chance to cover the 10-point spread, but then Mahomes might just go on a tear and score 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes. So I like the Chiefs to win. Moneyline, take them in a Moneyline multi with the Packers, and it pays -176. The Browns, oh, well, they got some good players. They got very good running backs. Chubb and Hunt, the former Chief. Baker Mayfield, he's done all right this year after a bad year last year and a good first year. You got a great wide receiver in Landry. You got Janovich at full back. You got Denzel Washington Ward at cornerback. You got the great defensive end Garrett, the dirty guy that got hit in the helmet and was rough and tough and got banned and suspended against the Steelers last year. The Browns, well, their pass defense is not very good, ranked 25th. Their run defense is ranked 9. The Chiefs, well, they shouldn't have rested all those players. Well, they did. They rested a lot of players in week 19. So they've had like 2 or 3 weeks off and haven't been playing. So they might be a bit rusty, and they haven't blown out any teams really much this year. They've kind of been cruising. So will they kick into high gear straight away early in these playoffs, or will the Browns hang around? Like I said, take the Chiefs to win. Oh, some of their players... Oh, Hill, the wide receiver. He is Olympic speed. He's amazing. You got Kelsey, you got Watkins, you got Robinson all on offense. You got Edwards-Helaire, the new running back the first year. Great little player. Le'Veon Bell. He is a running back that's come over from the Steelers, who I've always liked as a player. And you got Williams at running back as well. And then defense, you got Tyrann Mathieu. They call him the Honey Badger. He got that name from college. I'm not sure why. I think it's something to do with smoking weed, but I'm not actually sure on that. You got Frank Clark and Chris Jones, stars who played well in the Super Bowl. Especially it was Chris Jones, I believe, who played excellent last year in defensive tackle in the Super Bowl. Take the Chiefs to win, maybe not cover. And the final game, can't wait for this one as well. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints, 4:40 Sunday. My team, the Saints, are favoured by 3. The Bucks, they should have covered last week, but then this quarterback played for the Washington football team, the team with no name. Taylor Heineken. They even named a beer after him, as I said. The Dutch beer was named after this little champ, Taylor Heineken. He played fantastic. The Bucks did not cover, but they won against Washington. They put up a good score. They got great players. They have a very good team. I feel like they're underachieving a little bit so far. So let's see if they can just pick it up a notch and beat the Saints. Some of their great players. Well, we got the legend Tom Brady, of course, at 43 years old, who's played very well this year. Getting great protection on that O-line. We got Mike Evans, a really good wide receiver. We got Gronkowski, the got off the WWE and came back to play football. We got Brady at tight end, who's playing well. We got Jones and Fournette at running back. We have Jason Pierre-Paul with the fingerless Jason Pierre-Paul. You about that? On July 4th, he set firecrackers on his fingers and lost fingers on his hand when he's at the New York Giants. So brainless Jason Pierre-Paul, but he's a big fella and a good player. Then you got Ndamukong Suh, the rough, tough, dirty. He's a dirty player. Ndamukong Suh, the former Detroit Lion, he's up there as well. You got Ryan Suckup at kicker, and you got Winfield Jr. at safety. So they've got a very good all-round team. The Saints, well, of course, you got Breeze, him and Brady are fighting it out for the touchdown record. Breeze hasn't been playing as well. You got Hill at backup quarterback and Jameis Winston, the former Buck, as well. You got Michael Thomas at wide receiver. Emmanuel Sanders, one of my favourite Broncos player and a Super Bowl 50 champ. Then he went to the 49ers and now he's at the Saints. He's a damn good player. You got Cook at tight end. You got Kamara, the star of the rock show Bowlers. He's in there. He's back from COVID-19. Had to sit out for a while. We got Murray at running back as well. Michael Jenkins in defense and Lattimore at cornerback. They have a great defense. These Saints, they are ranked 5th on pass defense. Very, very good team. So let's now go to my Moneyline Multi Margin Mathematics for this game. Here we go. We've done it all. Okay, Bucks at Saints. Gut feel. My NFL knowledge, well, I'm going for the Bucks. So A is the home team. So we got Saints -1. We put 1 point on the Bucks. Home field advantage, yes, we'll give 1 point to the Saints there. So there we are, all tied up at 0. Better quarterback, well, I'm going to give 2 points to Tom Brady. He's playing better than Drew Brees. Drew Brees had cracked ribs and punctured lung. He's back, but he's still in pain and not playing quite as well. So 2 out of 7 points, just a bit better at the moment, is the legend Tom Brady. So that takes the Saints to -2. Injuries, COVID. Well, I'm going to wait till Sunday. But at this stage, I gave 1 extra point to the Bucks. Looks like the Saints might have some injuries. -3 for the Saints. Coaching advantage. Whoa, I'm going to give a bit of advantage to Sean Payton over Bruce Arians, who's still a very good coach. Slight advantage to Sean Payton. So there we go. Saints -2, underdog right now. Record versus Bucks. Well, we've got to give the Saints points here because they smashed the Bucks this year. But they've beaten them twice this year, so there's 1 point to the Bucks. So now the Saints are -1. who my favourite NFLers pick. Well, we got Gabe had the Saints. We got Chris Sims had the Saints. Babano had the Bucks. We had James had the Saints. So I got to give 1 point to the Saints. All tied up, 0. Turnovers. Here we go. Very close. Bucks +8, Saints +9, but Saints had a fumble in the wild card weekend, so -1 point to the Saints. Chance of a mental letdown, playoff experience. Well, Bucks haven't been in the playoffs for many, many years. 1 point to the Saints. So as I said on the show tonight, according to my calculation, it ends up a draw, a tie after regulation. So let's hope the Bucks can kick a field goal or a touchdown in the overtime and win by 3 or 6. Bit of fun, eh? But like you say, when you do my calculation, you realise that it's very evenly matched teams. So 2 of the 4 games I used my mixed Moneyline Multi Margin Mathematics calculation. It's a bit of fun. It's a lot of fun, but it does help me. Of course, it doesn't work all the time. You can have a turnover and a touchdown and the game can get blown out, but it really does help me. So here's my best bets. Packers and Chiefs on a Moneyline Multi. That's for the win, -176. Add the Bills, so that's a 3-team Moneyline Multi parlay, as they say, +162. Add the Bucks. That gives you +543 on the Moneyline Multi, or as they say on SportsGrid, they call it a parlay. When I first heard the name parlay, I'm thinking, what the hell's a parlay? Parlay? Am I going to get sex on a golf course? Am I going to get laid on a par 3 or a par 4? Am I going to get, a bit of romping with some hot chick on a golf course? Parlay? That's a silly name. So I like my name Multi. The Multi, it makes sense. It's easier to comprehend. A couple other bets just for a bit of fun. Multis on the +/-. I put the Packers and -6.5 together with the Browns at +10 for a bit of fun. That pays +249. Add the Bills at -2.5. That pays +540. Add the Bucks at +3. That pays 1151. So there's a bit of fun. And I also did put a bit of money on the Bills Ravens on the over 49.5. So be careful with your betting, your gambling. Bet what you can afford. Don't be crazy, because it's a bit of fun, but you don't want to lose too much money, because then you get all pissed off and don't enjoy the games. Should be absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about a few more betting terms. Well, the spread, like I said, the spread, the +/-. I tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to spread some Vegemite on toast with butter and make Gabe and Cam and all these crazy sports bettors eat. I would bet them that I could eat way more pieces of toast with Vegemite on them than those boys. I might make some money one day on a road rage and get the toaster out and see how many times I can beat these boys eating Vegemite. The spread. A spread is a term in betting. The parlay, like we said, there's bad beats, cover the spread, all sorts of names. Teasers. A teaser? I never even knew what a teaser was. Enjoy the weekend, and hopefully you can check out my other podcasts and my Twitter, and have fun. Love the NFL. Over and out, McAussie.tv.